If you're a school owner and you want to increase enrollments, Facebook and Instagram ads are one of the most effective and predictable ways to do it. But most schools waste money on ads because they're not executing a proper strategy. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how they work and why they work. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the complete system from the ads themselves to targeting the right parents and to how you can actually capture leads and turn them into enrolled students. So we're gonna cover three main things in this video, right? First one is the creative. The creative is pretty much like what your ad looks like and the strategy behind them. Second thing is the setup. So the setup is how you can target the right parents in the right locations with the right settings. And then thirdly is the conversion. So the conversion is essentially how you turn a lead into a tour booking, how you get them to show up for a tour and to enroll with your school. All right, so first let me explain why this even works and how it logically makes sense towards increasing enrollments, right? The goal of running ads is simple. We want to get your school in front of more qualified parents who are actively searching for schools or thinking about their child's education, right? When you're not running ads, you're relying on word of mouth, maybe like some organic social media posts or people driving by your building and then calling you, and that's all fine, but it's limited and it's not as consistent and predictable as ads are. With ads, what you're doing is you're putting your school in front of hundreds or thousands of parents every single day, and when you do this correctly with the right targeting, the right messaging, the right system, it just becomes a numbers game. So, like, just to explain it so you can visualize it, more parents will see your school, more parents will fill out forms for your school, more tour bookings, and more enrollments because of this. So, the more parents see your school, the more parents show up for tours, and the more parents show up for tours, the more parents will enroll. It's that simple, but the execution and like setting everything up and managing it, this is where most schools mess up. So I'm going to show you how you can do this correctly. All right, so part one is the creative. The creative is your actual ad. This is like the videos, the photos, the text that parents see when they're scrolling Instagram or Facebook, right? And I'm starting with this because honestly, it's one of the most important and overlooked parts. Like, you can have perfect targeting, you can have perfect settings, but if your ad doesn't stop someone scroll and grab their attention, it doesn't matter, right? So a good rule of thumb to keep in mind is like a good ad creative is just something that stops the parent scroll and gets them to pay attention. So here's what most schools do wrong, right? They just post a picture of their building with like now enrolling or open house this week. And that's not really an ad, that's more like an announcement. And the reason why announcements like that don't convert is because they're just boring and they don't speak to what parents actually care about. Like, ideally, what you want to do is you want to have videos of like, real classroom moments. You want to have like happy kids learning, teachers engaging with the kids, kids doing activities, because showing this is you're essentially showing parents what their child's day would look like. And then after that, you want to have text that resonates with the parents. So just text, just any messaging that resonates with the parents in your culture and different things like that. So the difference between these two is one is you're just announcing you exist, and the other is you speaking directly to what parents care about, like their child's development, the individual attention they receive, the quality education, etc. So the strategy that goes into this is you have to think about like, what's the hook in the first 3 to 5 seconds to stop the scroll? What are you showing in the video to communicate value? What's the call to action at the end? Is it like book a tour, limited spots available, or book a tour this week, only one open house remaining left this month? Different things. Like, are you testing different versions of the video to see which one performs best? And also, an important point is like, how's the editing? Is it clean? Is there music? Are there captions? And once you think of all this, you need to think about production quality. You can't just pull out a phone and record something shaky with bad lighting. It needs to look like somewhat professional, because parents are judging your school based on what they see in the app. So essentially, the video creative, it just needs a real strategy behind it. you can plan it like you can say like, okay, we're gonna record day in the life content, we're gonna record parent testimonials, whatever it is, right? But it needs an actual proper video idea and strategy behind it. Secondly, is good production. You don't need perfect production like full on photo shoot, but decent iPhone, good recording, good lighting. And then lastly, just solid editing. So smooth editing, nice little music, it's engaging, nice transitions, etc. So again, you don't need to be perfect for this, but you have to understand that this is the foundation for getting super good results on ads. It starts with the ad creative itself. All right, so part two is the setup. This is where you actually get into the settings of Meta Ads Manager. So Meta Ads Manager is just essentially what allows you to build the ads on Facebook and Instagram and other platforms like WhatsApp and other platforms owned by Meta like Threads, etc. Right? So, like I understand this might look complicated at first, and honestly, it is if you've never done it before because like there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of different settings, and everything just needs to be configured correctly. And if you like mess up one thing, then it might, you know, increase your ad spend by a lot and just burning unnecessary budget. So I'm gonna show you like how to set it up properly, and I'm gonna explain all the settings that go into it so you can understand, okay, well, how do we actually target the right parents? So I'll just take it one by one, right? So first of all, you have to understand like the demographics. Ideally, you want to target parents age 25 to 40. You don't want to go like above 60 on parents on Facebook because they're not going to have kids within your ideal age. So, you know, that's usually the age range with parents who have young kids and like that want to put them in preschool or kindergarten, right? So, because if you just target everyone, you're going to be wasting your ads to teenagers, like retired people, some people with no kids, basically anyone, and that's just wasting money. And then, secondly, is location. So, location is you don't want to target the entire country or entire city. You want to target ideally like 10 to 15 kilometers around your school. And if you provide a school bus service, that's different because then you can target a little bit further. But still, you don't want to target the entire city or entire country, just like areas where parents would realistically drop off their kids. You know, if it's too far, there it's not gonna. You're just wasting money on people seeing your ad, even though there's no chance they're gonna come. So you know, you can already see like we're being somewhat specific, and there's a couple of more like tinier details that go into these, but I'm just explaining the general idea behind them, right? Then you have to put in their interest, right? Because some parents, they're not interested in like quality education, they'll just go for the nearest thing. So you can just put like parents interested in early childhood education, child development. One good one is like if you charge higher prices, you want to put it around like luxury settings on Meta, so you can reach like higher income families, and that's pretty much how you set up all the settings, right? So what Facebook does it uses um, like Facebook's algorithm. It uses these signals to find parents who are not only in the right age and in the right location, but who are also actively engaging with content about like parenting and education, right? Like they follow certain accounts, they like certain posts, etc. So this is how you get qualified people filling out a tour booking form, and not just like a random form, right? And then you have like other settings. You have like the conversion settings. So what is the form they fill out? The goal of the performance. Ideally, you want to make it maximize number of leads, cost per result. There's also different other advanced options, but like there's different things like budget strategies, objective, the ad spending limits, and audience targeting is what we just talked about. But all of this needs to be configured correctly, or the campaign just won't perform well. Like if you mess up one setting, it can like drastically mess everything up. So, but if you go one step by step and set everything up properly with the right settings, this is how you get super good results from these. And it's not like something you can just figure out in a day because there's a lot of like technical knowledge that goes into this. You have to understand what settings you're actually configuring. But if you do it properly, you will get good results with it. All right, so final part is the conversion. This is how you can actually capture leads and get them to show up for a tour. So the biggest mistake that most schools do is they use their call to action as like call now or WhatsApp now, right? The problem with that is that most people don't want to stop whatever it is they're doing and call now, and because they're like scrolling on their phone, they saw your ad and they're interested, but they're not going to stop and just make a phone call right now at this moment, right? So that ends up to them not even doing anything. The second thing is WhatsApp now. So WhatsApp, the only problem I have with WhatsApp is it's not bad like if you use it and you're also running multiple ads. But if you have it, if you're only running one ad and you use WhatsApp now, someone's gonna message you with the automated WhatsApp message saying like, "Hey, I saw your ad," and then that's all you're gonna receive on WhatsApp, right? And then you have to follow up with them. Yeah, they're gonna ask a question. They're gonna take 1 day to respond. You're gonna ask them when they want to come for a tour. They're gonna take another day to respond. It's just a bunch of back and forth, and it's not good at all. Like what works a lot better is using this one thing Meta has. So Meta has something called instant forms. So it's pretty much a form that pops up right inside of Facebook or Instagram, and it pre-fills it with the person's contact information. So when someone clicks your ad, the form will appear. And by the way, you can customize this form requesting whatever details you want. But essentially, a form is going to appear. It's going to have their name, their phone number already filled in, and all they have to do is like answer a couple of quick questions, which you can automate the process for. So, for example, you can say like, what's their child's name? What's their child's age? When would they like to tour? And then you put your available times, and they're just going to fill it out. And if they have any specific questions, you can they can put in. So do you see how simple that is for the parent? They don't have to call or leave the app, and they don't have to like leave a message on WhatsApp and wait super long for a response and go back and forth. They just have to fill out a quick form that takes like 30 seconds, and now you have all their information. You know exactly when they want to tour. All you have to do is just call them back, ideally within the same day, if not the next day. You confirm the tour. You know they already requested through the form. You can just call them and say like, "Hi, name. I saw you requested a tour for Thursday at 9 a.m. or whatever. Does this still work for you?" And then they're just gonna say, "Yeah, this works. I'd like to come." And then they already expressed interest. You're not like cold calling them. You're just confirming what they already asked for. Then you can send them like a message on WhatsApp with the details. If they don't show up or they cancel, you can follow up once or twice. Or you can follow up whenever you have like offers or promotions. But point is, the form does the heavy lifting. You're not chasing people or trying to get them to call you back. They filled out a super clear form. They told you they want to tour, and all you have to do is just call them or WhatsApp them to follow up and make it happen, right? It's that simple, and it's by far one of the most like powerful things on Meta to get like clear lead information. All right, so that's the complete system, the creative strategy, the setup, the targeting, and the conversion process. If you want help implementing the system, first link in the description, book a 30-minute strategy call. We'll look at your current situation, your enrollment goals, and see if this is a good fit. And if you got value from this video, let me know. Other than that, thanks for watching.